Hey guys, Dale Bateman here. On this episode of Build Your Success Online, I'm going to show you how to write a great sales letter even if you hate to write. Stay tuned. It doesn't matter how long you've been doing internet marketing or online marketing with your online business. You should know that a sales letter is one of the most important parts of your online business. This is what does the convincing to your potential audience, to your potential customers, about your product or service that you're trying to sell. A good sales letter can really get to the point and show people the benefits of using your product, and it'll have them ready and willing to open up their wallets and share their credit card information with you. A poorly written sales letter can do just the opposite. It can turn people off and make it so they may never visit your site again. So, how do you write a really great sales letter, even if you don't like writing? Well, I've got a few tips for you today that I'm going to go over with you, and hopefully they'll shed some light on different ways that you can approach your writing techniques so that it'll make it an easier process for you. There's nothing worse than sitting down, looking at a blank computer screen or a blank piece of paper and trying to come up with ideas. So I hope the tips I give you in this video will give you some insight and some good starting points to get you rolling on the right track to creating good sales letters and good copy. I've got a special section too where I'm going to talk just about headlines. Headlines are very important in terms of your sales letter or anything else that you're writing for your online business. So let's take a look at these tips right now, and then I'll come back and finish up the video. Here we go. Alright guys, so here we go. How to write a great sales letter even when you hate to write. I can sit here all day giving you tips and hints on headlines and phrases that sell, but none of it will do any good if you just plain hate sitting down at the keyboard. If you can't stand writing, you're in good company. Most of us feel the same. I once asked a high school English teacher how many of her 300 students liked to write. Oh, about 9 of them, she said. Now, let me give you a few ideas from my experience and help you to conjure up a great copy every single day, even when you don't feel well or aren't in the mood. Ready? Here we go. The first step is just to get something on paper, and I mean anything. I do mean anything. Just start writing down whatever comes to mind. If you can't think of anything, then write, "I'm sitting here and I can't think of anything to write." Yes, that sounds pretty stupid, but it's exactly the technique a lot of top writers use to get the creative juices flowing. Next, you'll find yourself typing, "I need to write a sales letter to promote my new software. It's software to help people get organized." Most people have lots of information, but they can't remember where they put it. This software has people organize their information in a system that makes it super easy to find in just seconds. Wow, you're writing, you're telling your story, and best of all, you're not worrying about being bad because you know you can go back later and change it all. One top writer copies and pastes favorite lines from other sources, like the client's website. Then she rewrites those sections in her own words so that they are completely original. That's enough to get her going. Next, she fills in additional fresh copy between the blurbs she has already completed. Even on days when she would rather be anywhere but behind a computer, she cranks out first-rate copy in record time. Another method is to just start talking. Talk into one of those little tape recorders you get at Radio Shack. Pretend you're telling your best friend, your mother, or Paris Hilton all about your big idea. Go into all the details. Talk it all out. Later, go back, listen, and take notes. Your notes will be the start of your email message. Now, if you don't type very well, 60% of North Americans can't type. Did you know that? Hunting keys often makes writing frustrating, if not impossible. Following the tradition of a great many very famous writers, here's something that's earth-shattering, guys. Pick up a cheap ballpoint pen and write down your ideas with the good old handwriting you learned back in the 2nd grade. Then have somebody else type it up for you. So there's a few ideas, guys, on ways that you can get the creative juices flowing, you know, get started with writing even if you don't feel like it. It's very simple and easy to get started, and then you can just take it from there. All right? Now, let's talk more specifically about headlines for your sales letter. Very important part, because this is what takes the transition from people reading your text, reading your sales letter, into actually thinking that your product or service is what they're looking for. So here's some simple tips to help you write better headlines. Number 1, write down all the benefits of your product. What kind of problems does it solve? How does it make people's lives happier, healthier, and wealthier? Now, number 2, you might not be aware of all the benefits. Think outside the box and keep on looking for more benefits. Don't let any of them slip away. Number 3, what is the USP, the unique selling proposition of your product? What makes it stand out from the crowd? What makes it unique? That's your most important benefit. That's the one that will differentiate your product from those of your competitors. Number 4, use short, active verbs that rouse emotions and create images for people who are reading them. Number 5, write your headlines only for your target customer and don't care about anybody else. Number 6, powerful words that you can use in your headlines are, for example, how to, free, why, who wants to know, finally. Or you can ask what's known as an open-ended question. This is a question where someone has to answer with something other than yes or no. So it could be a question like, why do so many people fail to attract more money? Okay, this opens up the question. It opens it up for people to, in their mind even, just providing an answer. Because it's very difficult if somebody, even in the written word, asks you a question, your natural tendency is to want to answer that question. Okay? And you will do that unconsciously in your mind. So why not use an open-ended question like this to get their creative juices flowing, get them thinking, hey, this might just be the thing I need. Okay? Number 7, don't hype. What are you saying? What you're saying has to be believable. Okay? Hype doesn't get anybody anywhere. Use believable statements. Act like you're talking to your best friend, your neighbor next door, whatever it is. But it has to sound believable for people to continue on. Remember, your headline is the first thing they're going to see, so this has to really catch them and get them thinking more and get them more interested in continuing to read your sales letter. Number 8, brainstorm 10 to 20 headlines. This is a great idea anytime, guys, that you've got some spare time. Just brainstorm 10 to 20 headlines. Take a look at other people's headlines. Change them up a bit. Make them work for your product. Okay? There's tons of sales letters out there on the internet. All you have to do is take a look, find some, and adapt them. Re-engineer them. I always tell people, don't reinvent the wheel, re-engineer it. It takes a lot less time and it'll give you great results. Number 9, pretend you are your customer. Which headline would get you excited? Which one stirs your emotions? Pick your 3 favorites and keep on modifying and changing them until you are really happy. And number 10, take a break and come back the following day with a fresh mind and do a final edit if necessary. Okay? Take a break from it. Another good idea for you guys is if you've got a partner, maybe your spouse, somebody else that you trust, let them take a look at your headline. Maybe they can make suggestions. A fresh set of eyes is always a good idea, no matter what you're writing. So there you go, 10 tips on writing better headlines. I hope there's some help to you. So what's the bottom line today, guys? The key to effective sales letter writing is just get something, anything, on your computer screen or on paper. Once you have that, start to edit. The copy will take on a life of its own and the writing will come easier to you. Or simply hand your first attempts to a professional writer. Most can churn your notes into polished copy faster and cheaper than they can write entirely new sales copy. Learning how to write a great headline takes time and effort, but it's absolutely crucial if you want to succeed. It's very likely you will spend the same amount of time for your headlines as you do for the rest of your sales letter. And that's no lie, I've done it myself, and it's perfectly normal. Okay? So guys, there you go, a few tips for you on how to write a great sales letter even when you hate to write. For lots more great tips and tricks, head over to my website at byso.biz, that's buildyoursuccessonline.com, and make sure you take advantage of my free bootcamp training course, 10 steps to starting your own online business. Okay guys, let's get off the presentation and back to the video, finish things up so you guys can start writing sales letters and putting these tips into practice. Here we go. So there you go guys, some great tips for you on writing a good sales letter even if you're not a big fan of writing in the first place. And pay special attention to the tips I've given you about writing your headlines. Because as I said before, headlines are the key to making that transition from you to your audience to the people that are reading the sales letter, really trying to get inside their heads and convincing them that your product or service is what they actually need. So guys, with all that being said, I want to thank you for watching my video today. If you got some value here and you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel. You'll get all my videos delivered right to your YouTube and you'll be able to watch them over and over again. If you're watching on my blog, please click around, especially take advantage of my free bootcamp training where I go through 10 lessons to get you started up with your online business. These are the same steps I took when I got started and they've led me to my success. Don't pass it up. It's totally free. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next bootcamp training. So guys, thanks so much again, and until next time, my name is Dale Bateman, and I'm wishing you a fantastic day. Bye for now.